To start off, we will ask Michael Cowan to come up. He's the president of the Men's Athletic Association for high school sports. And Mike's going to come up and give us a little idea of how this night has come about and what will happen.
Thank you, Jimmy. Good evening, everybody. My name is Mike Cowan, and as the current president of the Sault Ste. Marie Men's Athletic Association, I have the enviable honor of officially beginning this evening's festivities. Firstly, I would be remiss if I didn't extend our gratitude to the Marconi Hall for their world-class food and their even better service. This hall has been a staple building in Sault Ste. Marie and has impacted the lives of many athletes, charities, and families alike for as long as I can remember. So thank you, Marconi Hall. Secondly, I would like to introduce you to the athletic directors from our representing high schools. These individuals teach, guide, encourage, and correct for a living, all for the betterment of our youth. They each play such a key role in the lives of every high school athlete who will be recognized this evening. Please stand up when I call your name to receive a mere fraction of the recognition that you truly deserve. From Superior Heights, Mr. Jared Klooster. From Core Collegiate, Mr. Greg Arbor. From St. Mary's College, Mr. Dave Zagordo. From Central Algoma, Mr. Nigel Good. And representing École Notre-Dame du Sud, Mr. Randy Supak. Next, I would like to give mention to Mr. Steve Caruso for serving as liaison for the Sault Ste. Marie Men's Athletic Association and the Rotary Club of Sault Ste. Marie. It is through his devoted efforts that all of the moving parts that go into making this night memorable come together. Thank you, Steve. I would also like to acknowledge the significant role that each school's administration and each sports conveners play in the effective and efficient running of all of our high school athletics. Your many forms of support and dedication to the continued development of our athletes and our athletic programming are greatly appreciated. At this time, recognizing and appreciating the Rotary Club of Sault Ste. Marie is something that we should all do, not only tonight, but regularly as we move forward. For a century, the Rotary Club has combined countless hours of service, tireless efforts, and a people-first philosophy in order to provide Sault Ste. Marie and its residents with endless support, millions of much-needed dollars, and unparalleled leadership. For these and the never-ending list of all that you do, we thank you. To our host speaker, Mr. Jim Fitzpatrick, your voice, along with the voices of individuals who we can refer to by their first name only, as there's never any doubt as to who we are speaking about. People like yourself, Gino, Peter, Billy, Randy, and JWS. You are all timeless in our community, and your voices represent familiarity and warmth. For your service, thank you. Lastly, to our athletes, you are the reason why we gather. You are why we coach. You are why we teach, correct, inspire, keep stats, watch film, and dedicate large parts of our lives to. Without realizing, you also teach us, correct us, inspire us, and help us get better. My message tonight for you is quite simple. You were chosen to be here. We chose to recognize you. We see things in you that deserve to be recognized. We see talent, we see humility, we see perseverance, and we mostly see character. For all those things, enjoy your night. Be proud, be humble, and give thanks. I encourage you, prior to leaving here tonight, to stand up, extend your hand, look your coach in the eyes, and from the bottom of your heart, say thank you. You may not realize it just yet, but your high school coach has left a footprint on your life, on your direction, and on your character that has made you a better person than you were just a few short years ago. Again, please thank your coaches. And finally, to the H.P. Broughton nominees, congratulations. Mack, Sara, and the Sioux Greyhounds, your drive and your courage are two keys to your success. They also provide our youth here tonight with inspiration. Your pursuit of your dreams empowers our youth to follow their own dreams. So continued success and the best of luck in all of your endeavors, and always remember that young, impressionable people are watching. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mike. So we're going to now begin with the presentation of the high school awards, and we'll start with the nominees. There are 9 categories of awards for sports in the secondary schools. Our first category will be in badminton, and we're going alphabetically tonight. Just to give you an idea, the criteria for the athletes being nominated for the Rotary Sports Award are as follows. It should be a senior student, but it could be a first or second year student in exceptional circumstances. They must be involved in the particular sport for a minimum of 2 years, with the exception of hockey, or in the case of an outstanding achievement during a single year of competition. Both league and postseason play shall be taken into consideration. Competition in OFSA, sanctioned events for tournaments and such may also be considered. The student must be academically successful, living up to his potential, and should have displayed good sportsmanship throughout the season. So let's start, and that's the criteria for all of the nominations, by the way. So let's start with badminton. From Cora Collegiate and Vocational School, Luke May. We have Dan Sharp up here. We'll be presenting the medallions for the athletes. Luke May is Cora's Rotary Badminton nominee for 2018. Luke has played badminton with successful results in each of his years at Cora. This season, in a strong senior mixed doubles division, Luke and his partner Hannah placed first in the City Badminton Championships, finished a close third at NASA, missing out on an OFSA berth. Despite the tough finish to the season, Luke has been very dedicated. His dedication and perseverance to excel at the sport of badminton is shown through his daily pestering of his coaches to have more and more practices. Crivan, when is our next practice? That's his favorite saying. This, along with his consistent hard work, have developed Luke into one of the top high school players in the Sioux. He's been a positive role model for younger players at Cora, especially for his brother and sister who joined the team this season. Luke is always willing to assist in the improvement of fellow teammates. We're looking forward to bigger and better things next season as Luke returns to Cora for his final year. Luke May from Cora Collegiate. The next nominee is from St. Mary's College, Nate Medallia. Nate demonstrates great talent in the sport of badminton. Throughout each of his 3 years in high school, he has continued to improve his overall skills and abilities. Coming off an impressive second place finish last year, he was easily able to showcase how he has grown in the sport and assert his dominance as a singles player. This year, he not only won the men's singles mini-meet, but claimed the title in senior men's singles. The school is very proud of how he represented St. Mary's College at NASA and look forward to what he will achieve in his senior year. St. Mary's College very proud to nominate Nate Medallia for the Rotary Badminton Athlete of the Year 2018. From Superior Heights, the nominee is Nick Keenan, and I understand Nick is not able to be with us tonight. Nick placed second at Cities and represented Sault Ste. Marie at NASA. As a second-year player, Nick showed immense growth this season. His determination was unmatched, and he was a fierce competitor, all while maintaining his giant sporting smile. Superior Heights proud to forward Nick Keenan as their 2018 Badminton nominee. From White Pines Collegiate, Bishop Whitmore. Bishop just completed his second badminton season and did it with tremendous enthusiasm and dedication. He competed in senior mixed doubles, did a commendable job against fierce competition. With additional experience and practice, Bishop can expect great improvement in 2018-2019. Bishop Whitmill from White Pines. And our final nominee from, it's unfortunately his name is not included in your program at your desk, but he is nominated, from Notre Dame de Sioux, Aidan Greenfield. As a grade 10 student athlete, Aidan competed very well in his second year of high school badminton. He's a quick learner when it comes to enhancing his skills. He's very respectful of his opposition and his coaches. We look forward to continued success from Aidan over his high school career. Aidan Greenfield from Notre Dame de Sioux. And those are your nominees for badminton this year. We'll bring the winner back up later on. Thank you, gentlemen. Our next group of nominees, we move on to basketball. Starting off in basketball from St. Mary's College, Cole Evans. We're having Rotary President-elect Bob Caricato to hand out the medallions for the nominees. Cole was the team's leading scorer and captain, and Cole brought a blue-collar effort to every practice and a level of intensity that made him a favorite of the coaching staff. His energy and effort was crucial as the Knights captured the AAA NASA title and competed at the OFSA Championships in Windsor. Cole also received Co-MVP award this year, as well as earning the Referees Award that combines sportsmanship and ability. We wish Cole the very best as he is planning to attend Algoma University, where he will be studying biology and playing basketball for the Thunderbirds. Cole Evans from St. Mary's College. From Superior Heights Collegiate, the nominee this year is Jackson Hart. Jackson was everything and more for the Steelhawks basketball team. He led the team offensively while also bringing a tenacity on defense. Off the court, Jackson was a leader and mentor to all the players on the team, even stepping up and helping to coach when the team lost their head coach mid-season. Jackson is the player every coach dreams of having every night, no matter what. He's going to give 150% effort. He could literally put the team on his back. Against Elliott Lake, Jackson had 47 points and erased a 6-point deficit in the final minute. Capped it off with a buzzer beater, three-pointer to tie the game. And it was an honor to have him on the team. Jackson Hart from Superior Heights. Basketball nominee from White Pines is Bishop Whitmill. As a first-year senior, Bishop displayed a commitment and maturity level well beyond his years. His heart and hustle approach, combined with a polished scoring touch, made him a very valuable member of the green and white, a true student of the game, and a 12-month-a-year player. Bishop is continually looking to improve and aims to be an even more dominant player on the hardwood next season. Bishop Whitmill from White Pines. The nominee from Cora, Matt Kement. Matt won a city championship in his grade 9 year and was a NASA finalist. Matt has been one of the few to make the jump to the senior loop in his grade 10 year. Now as a grade 11, he has led his team to a perfect record locally and added another city championship and NASA finalists to his resume. Matt has been named tournament MVP of the Eric Neistat event, first team All-Star in numerous tournaments, has received a nomination for the Local Referees Award, is our current league's most valuable player, and was this year's recipient of the Guy Vitre Memorial Award, which gets handed out annually to a player who exemplifies a high degree of sportsmanship, talent, and grades in the classroom. Matt currently holds an 83% average and has his sights set on a degree in kinesiology. He is working extremely hard in hopes to one day receive a scholarship to play at the next level and see how far basketball can take him. Matt will return for his grade 12 year at Cora. Matt Clement from Cora Collegiate. And those are your nominees for the basketball award for this year. Now we'll move on to the cross-country running awards, and the presenter will be Rotary past president Archie Laidlaw. First nominee for the Rotary Sports Award in cross-country is from Superior Heights, and it's Mark Keenan. A talented athlete, Mark trains hard, often on his own, and has great potential in this sport. Mark placed first at the city meet, third at NOSA, and 89th at OFSA. Mark led his team to a first-place finish at Cities and a first-place finish at NOSA. He has been the Sioux's top finisher at OFSA for the past 2 years. Superior Heights proud to nominate Mark Keenan for the cross-country award from Superior Heights. The nominee from White Pines, Kyle Foster. Kyle is a grade 11 student, has emerged as one of the captains on the White Pines squad. He is consistently dedicated to bettering himself and his teammates and possesses a natural gift for running. And above all, Kyle thoroughly enjoys the experience and competitive aspect of cross-country running. Kyle Foster, the nominee from White Pines Collegiate. The nominee from Cora Collegiate, Andrew Budeau. Andrew is the consummate student athlete and leads by example. He sets high goals for himself and has an unstoppable internal drive that motivates him to keep pushing. Andrew had an outstanding year, finishing first at the city meet in the boys senior division, 7th at NOSA. He was also the top senior runner at OFSA. Cora is proud of Andrew's accomplishments through his 4 years as a cross-country runner and are excited to see what the future holds for him. The Cora Collegiate nominee for cross-country, Andrew Budeau. And the cross-country nominee from St. Mary's College, Cole De La Rosabille. Cole has represented St. Mary's College for the past 3 years, both at the City Championship and the NOSA Championships as well. He is a runner with a strong desire to win and a deep commitment to his own personal training for the sport. He placed 5th in the city meet this year and represented SMC at NOSA, earning a personal best time and honorable finish. St. Mary's College proud to nominate Cole De La Rosabille as their Rotary Award nominee for cross country. Thanks a lot, Archie. That's your nominees for cross country. Our next category of nominees will come from for curling, and we'll get Don Harvey to come up and present the medallions. The nominee from White Pines, Logan Sylvester. In his second year of curling, Logan skipped the young team to a successful season. Logan and his team finished just out of the city championship playoffs. He would lead his team on a tremendous run at the Consolation Championship and finished with a great win in the final to capture the title. Logan has shown tremendous growth as a curler and gained valuable confidence with each game. He is a pleasure to coach and always displays a positive attitude toward his teammates and his competition. Through continued work, Logan is sure to have a very successful year next year. Logan Sylvester from White Pines. Cora is excited to nominate Noah Richards as their curling nominee. Noah's first year as a skip posed many challenges, from having to call the game to the pressure of throwing the last rock. Noah demonstrated consistent improvement and became more comfortable in the new position. He led his team to wins in several close games this season. His team finished the season by winning the league championship and competing at NASA. Noah's enthusiasm and sometimes unconventional strategy made for an exciting season. Noah Richards, the Cora Collegiate nominee in curling. The nominee in curling from Superior Heights Collegiate, Josh Hales. Josh, in his second-year skip of the Superior Heights boys curling team, would lead his team, finishing as runner-up to Cora in regular league play. Moving to the playoffs, the boys would go on to defeat Cora, advancing to the final, finishing their season as runner-ups to Notre Dame in the city championship. Congratulations, Josh, on a much-improved season, and best of luck next season. The nominee from Superior Heights, Josh Hales. And the nominee from Notre Dame de Sioux, Jonathan Barret. Jonathan has been proudly representing Notre Dame de Sioux for the past 3 years. He has played an integral part in building this team and leading them to a first-place finish in the city championship this year. Jonathan dedicated himself entirely this year to improving his knowledge of the game, including his technical abilities. He always strived to help bring out the best in himself and, more importantly, his teammates. During the entire season, Jonathan was a model of what a true student athlete should be. He was always a true sportsman and gentleman, encouraging and acknowledging all players he played with or against. Notre Dame de Sioux is proud to introduce you to Jonathan Barret. And those are our curling nominees. Thank you, Don. And we'll see the winner later on. Moving on to our next sport, we're looking at our football nominees, and we're going to get Conrad Marasco to come up and present the medallions for the nominees. We'll start this off from the Cora Colts. The nominee for football is Darian Belkowski. Cora's team captain, Darian Belkowski, helped lead the Colts to the league and city championship titles. Darian was featured at 3 positions this season: defensive tackle, guard, and fullback. And as a high school football referee, I don't remember hearing his name, so obviously he was doing good in that regard. Darian led the league in sacks, was 5th the league in tackles, and on offense, he was among the top rushers in the league, averaging an impressive 9 yards per carry. When Darian wasn't carrying the ball, he was usually the key blocker in the league's top offense. Darian was awarded the Alex Denman Memorial Trophy as most outstanding player in the league this season. His outstanding play was also recognized at the provincial level, and Darian was selected to the CFC All-Ontario team as a defensive tackle. Cora would like to thank Darian and his family for all their contribution to the Colts football program, and they wish Darian the best of luck in his future endeavors. Cora's football Rotary nominee, Darian Belkowski. The nominee from St. Mary's College for football, Travis Johnson. What makes this player so special is not what he does on the field, but how he conducts himself off the field. From his tremendous play and his leadership in the locker room, he has earned the respect from the players on his team and around the league. This student athlete has truly fulfilled our school motto of goodness, discipline, and knowledge, with the character he possesses as a football player, but more importantly, as an individual. Winner of the Rocky DePietro Award as the league's best receiver and a perennial all-star, our school, St. Mary's College, is honored to nominate a well-respected and true all-around student athlete, Travis Johnson, St. Mary's College. Nominee for football from Superior Heights, Joe Rosso. Joe is a perennial standout in the local high school and OVFL leagues. He is the defensive leader for the Steelhawks and anchors the unit from the strong side linebacker position. Joe also fulfills many roles within the special teams and is called on in key situations on offense. Joe is dedicated to both his football and academic development, which is evident when preparing and strategizing each week. To the delight of his coaching staff, Joe will be returning to Superior Heights in the fall. Joe Rosso, Superior Heights football nominee for the Rotary Award. And the nominee for football from White Pines, the name is Brandon Southwind. Brandon, in his second year of senior football as a grade 11 student, has surpassed city and provincial standards. As an individual, he possesses a superior talent of influencing players around him. As White Pines team captain, he has earned the respect of the players and coaches around him, being both a great leader on and off the field. As a two-way player playing center on the offensive line and defensive tackle on the defensive side of the ball, he possesses a rare talent that has earned him a league all-star and starting defensive tackle position on the Sault Sabercats varsity football club. Brandon has taken his talents a step further this season, earning a top spot on Team Ontario, being the only player from Sault Ste. Marie on the team. He competed in the U.S. versus Canada border battle during the high school offseason. Brandon will be returning to White Pines in the fall, where he should flourish even further in his football and academic aspirations. Brandon Southwind from White Pines. And those are your nominees for football. We'll be back with the winner for this year later. Thank you, Conrad. Now we move on to our nominees from hockey. And Rotary past president Murdoch Carter will be handing out the medallions to the four nominees this year. Starting off with Superior Heights, Nick Keenan is the nominee. And once again, Nick isn't with us tonight. Nick is an excellent two-way defenseman who displays outstanding leadership on and off the ice. Nick has been the captain of Superior Heights for the past 3 seasons and has been nominated the past 3 years for Best Defenseman. He always puts the team concept first, made everyone around him better. He was a mentor for the younger players on the team, and they truly looked up to him. Nick has an average of 90% and will be attending Algoma University in the fall, taking honors in biology. Nick's plan for the future is to apply to medical school and become a doctor. Superior Heights nominee is Nick Keenan. The nominee for hockey from Cora Collegiate, Liam Breskison. Liam was a member of the Colts for 2 seasons and this year was voted captain by his peers and coaches. Liam's leadership, compete level, and commitment to the program will be missed. This year, Liam led the way for Cora in all aspects and served as the team's top defenseman, led both the penalty kill and power play units, and was asked to defend the opponent's top line on a nightly basis. He was the steady voice in the room, held his teammates accountable at practice and games. In addition, he was one of the top leading scorers by a defenseman in the league this year. Liam will be missed and will always have a place in the Cora hockey family. Liam Breskison from Cora Collegiate. The St. Mary's College hockey nominee, Josh Mannarino. Josh led the league in scoring this year and was voted as the league's most valuable player during his second year of high school hockey. He is a highly skilled player who plays with both his head and heart. Josh is a natural goal scorer and is dangerous in all situations, including the penalty kill. He played a very important role on both on and off the ice as an alternate captain this past year. Josh will play a vital role for St. Mary's next year in hopes of winning a 4th straight title. St. Mary's is proud to nominate Josh Mannarino. And the nominee from Central Algoma Secondary School, Jack Macleod. This year was Jack's second season with the Huskies. Jack led the team in scoring both seasons, including his first season as a grade 10 student. Jack was an integral part of the team both on and off the ice as a leader. The Huskies' offense relied heavily on Jack throughout both seasons. Jack has recently signed with the Blind River Beavers of the NOJHL. Congratulations, Jack. The Central Algoma Secondary School nominee for hockey, Jack Macleod. Thank you, Murdoch. Those are our nominees for the Hockey Award for 2018. Joining me now to hand out the awards for soccer, Rotary past president Anthony Zappacosta. The candidate for nominee from Cora Collegiate, Taylor Barker. Taylor has been a great leader for the Colts this season. He is a fantastic two-way player who defends and controls the play when called upon. He is an excellent student and a great teammate. Taylor's play usually will determine the kind of result the Colts will end up with. He has great vision while on the pitch and is a very determined soccer player. Perhaps his greatest quality is his never-say-die attitude, as it proved to be infectious to the rest of the squad on a nightly basis. The soccer nominee for Cora Collegiate, Taylor Barker. Soccer nominee for St. Mary's College, Ron Zappacosta. A leader on and off the field, Ron possesses a high level of soccer skill and soccer intelligence, making him one of the most talented players in the league. He is the ultimate team player, controlling the midfield of a dominant Knights squad. Ron scored 2 goals in the city championship this year, helping the Knights to their 2nd straight title. He also led his Knights to a league and a AAA NASA title, and led his team at offs at AAA playdowns in Thunder Bay this past weekend, and competed with the best teams in the province. In only his grade 11 year, Ron will be returning to SMC next year, hoping to continue his success on the soccer pitch. Ron Zappacosta, soccer nominee for St. Mary's College. The nominee for soccer from Superior Heights, Gareth Boy Tomsky. Garrett has grown on and off the field over the past 3 seasons, demonstrates passion, leadership, and desire to win with his outstanding play and personality. He constantly drives teammates and himself to improve and push the limits every time he steps on the field, whether it be practice or game. Along with all of these attributes, versatility may be his strongest. Garrett has been asked to play midfield, defense, and goaltender, playing all positions with the same level of effort and professionalism. These are 2 qualities that cannot be taught. He is the definition of student athlete, and the coaching staff wishes Garrett the best in all his endeavors. From Superior Heights, the soccer nominee, Gareth Boy Tomsky. And those are soccer nominees for this year. The winner will be announced later with the rest. We're going to get Doug Lawson to come up and help out here with our medallion presentations to the nominees for track and field. The nominee from St. Mary's College, David Petitella. St. Mary's College proud to nominate this athlete who has returned to track and field in his final year of high school with heart and a strong competitive drive. David represented our school in the men's senior long jump event, placed 3rd in the city track and field meet. Jumping his way to a gold medal at the NASA Championships, David continued with his desire to better himself. He is off bound for the event, and I believe that was this past weekend, wasn't it? And St. Mary's proud to have David Petitella as their nominee for track and field. The track and field nominee for Superior Heights, Ben Baggs. In an unfortunate accident, Ben broke his ankle during wrestling season this year. He underwent grueling physiotherapy and was told he could not jump or do hurdles this season. From start to finish, Ben pushed through pain and trying to rebuild his strength to defy what his physiotherapist said was possible. Ben competed in the 110-meter hurdles and long jump, although Ben was previously a triple jump specialist, as well as the 200 meters. At the city championships, Ben placed 1st in the 110-meter hurdles and 2nd in both the long jump and the 200 meters. At NASA, Ben was 2nd in the 110-meter hurdles, 5th in the long jump, and 7th in the 200 meters. Ben is determined, obviously, and a dedicated athlete, always at practice, always training hard, and never letting up on his high expectations of himself. Congratulations on an excellent season and a great career in track at Superior Heights. Ben Baggs, the nominee for track and field. The White Pines nominee for track and field, I better get this pronunciation right, it's Joseph Hakevar. As a grade 11 student, Joseph displayed a high level of dependability and maturity at team practices. He worked very diligently at honing the skills of each of the 3 throwing events. Joseph captured first place honors in the discus throw, 4th in javelin, and 7th in shot put. In qualifying for NASA, Joseph finished a respectable 6th in discus and 10th in javelin. Joseph Hakevar from White Pines. The track and field nominee for Cora Collegiate is Andrew Budeau. Throughout Andrew's 4 years, he has proven to be a generational type runner, and this year was no exception. At the city championships, Andrew captured gold in the 2,000 meter steeplechase, 800 meters, and 1,500 meters. He was also a pivotal member of the boys 4x400 meter relay, which also won the city title. As a result, he was awarded the aggregate title for the senior boys division for the 2nd straight year. At NASA, Andrew continued his dominance, capturing gold in both the steeplechase and 800 meters, as well in the 4x400 meter relay. For his efforts at NASA, he was once again awarded the aggregate championship for the senior boys division. When it comes to distance running, Andrew is truly in a class of his own. Cora is proud of his efforts over the years. Andrew Budeau from Cora Collegiate. And the final nominee from Notre Dame du Sud, Jonathan Barret. Jonathan worked hard this year to get ready for competition. This was his first year as a track athlete, and he stated to his coach, "Put me in whatever you want, I just want to compete." And compete he did. He finished just short this year for an NASA berth in the 200 meters, but walked away very happy with his results. He is a hard-working athlete and always aims to better himself. Notre Dame du Sud is very proud of you. Our nominee for track and field from Notre Dame du Sud, Mr. Jonathan Barret. Thank you, Doug. Those are our nominees for track and field for 2018. And now our final nomination group for the individual sports will go to wrestling. And Derek Walls, the Rotary past president, his son, is joining me. Looked a lot different for a second there, Derek. Starting off from Central Algoma Secondary School for a wrestling nomination is Cole Stevens. Cole is a great leader for the Cass wrestling team and leads by example, always encouraging others. His positive and encouraging demeanor far extends past his age as a grade 10 athlete. He was very dedicated to his craft this year, as he made sure he would be at practices at the school and find rides to the Sioux to train with the Sioux Wrestling Club and get exposure with as many training partners as he can. His coaches are excited to see him continue to develop as a wrestler and fight to the top of his competitive weight class over the next 2 to 3 years. Congratulations, Cole Stevens from Central Algoma Secondary School. Gavin Veenstra is the White Pines Rotary nominee for wrestling. Gavin had a tremendous season wrestling for the Green and White. He placed first at the Algoma Invite, first at the Brampton Invitational, second at the K-Bay Meet, and third at the Matman Tournament. His passion for learning and his dedication to the sport were unparalleled. Gavin captured the city championship title for the 77 kilogram category, then went on to capture NASA Gold. His coaches are sad to see him go, but they wish Gavin the best as he moves on to post-secondary education. Gavin Veenstra from White Pines. The nominee from Cora Collegiate, Jacob Urich. Jacob competed in 2 weight classes, both the 95 kilogram class, 2 weight classes, pardon me, the 95 kilogram class and the 89 kilogram class. He was a city champion in the 89 and also captured the NASA crown in that same weight division. Jacob continued his strong performance at OFSA, where he went on to win 3 matches to only 2 defeats. Jacob will be back at Cora next year and looks to improve upon an already impressive resume. There's no doubt Jacob will go on to do more great things next year. Jacob Jurich from Cora. This year's nominee from St. Mary's College is a third-year wrestler who over the years has improved to be one of the top wrestlers in Ontario in the 72-kilogram weight class, and his name is Jared Pine. Some of Jared's accomplishments this season were gold medals at the Northeastern Ontario Championship held at Algoma U and gold at the Howard Gary Memorial in Brampton. He also finished with silver medals at the City and NASA Championship, had a record of 3-2, one win away from a podium finish at OFSA. Jared will be returning to St. Mary's College in the fall, hoping to bring home an OFSA medal. Jared Pine from St. Mary's College. And those are our nominees for wrestling. And now we move on to the nominees for the Walter Lowe Memorial Trophy. Mike Stone coming up to help us hand out the medallions for nominees. We start this off from St. Mary's College, Nate Medallia. In only his grade 11 year, Nate has played a very significant role in athletics at St. Mary's College. In 3 years, he has participated consistently in several sporting events. This year in hockey, he was the league's high-scoring defenseman and was selected as the league's best defenseman, helping his Knights squad win the league and city titles. He then led his Knights to the AAA NASA Championship in North Bay and had a respectable showing at AAA OFSA, losing in the quarterfinals. Nate then took his skills to the Badminton court, where he captured the City men's singles title and competed at a high level at NASA. On the basketball court, Nate was a key member of the Knights as they captured the AAA NASA title here at home. He has been very committed student athlete for 3 years of high school, and we look forward to having Nate back for his final year at SMC. Nate Medallia from St. Mary's College. The nominee from Superior Heights is Nick Keenan, and once again, Nick is unable to be with us tonight. Nick represents a model of what a student athlete should aspire to be in everything he does, be it in the classroom or in sport. He brings a strong work ethic and infectious enthusiasm. He has been a valuable member of the Superior Heights community and a role model for our younger student athletes at Superior Heights. Nick demonstrates excellent leadership on school teams and in the classroom, unwavering respect for teachers, coaches, and fellow students, and a strong sense of responsibility and loyalty toward his school community. Nick excels in both academics and athletics, but most importantly, he has learned the importance of how these experiences have helped him develop as a confident learner and a caring member of our community. Nick was a 4-sport athlete this year and is a 3-time OFSA representative in cross country, 2-time representative in track and field, captain of the hockey team, and a member of the boys soccer team. Nick is the Superior Heights Rotary nominee for badminton and hockey and the Walter Lowe Memorial Trophy nominee from Superior Heights. Nick Keenan. The Walter Lowe nominee from White Pines, Bishop Whitmill. As a grade 11 multi-sport athlete, Bishop has steadily acquired the experience and skills to be a successful, well-rounded athlete. Bishop kicked off the school year actively training with the cross-country team. He impressed his coaches and earned a top 10 finish. He then moved on to basketball, where he earned the respect from his opposition with his workmanlike approach and his refined finish at the net. Bishop added badminton to his athletic resume and got a great taste of its agility and precision. He rounded out his athletic campaign competing in track and field in the sprint events. Moving into his grade 12 year, Bishop is sure to continue to make great athletic strides. Bishop Whitmill from White Pines. The Walter Lowe nominee from Cora Collegiate, Nick Gervaisi. Nick was a 5-sport athlete, contributing significantly in football, hockey, badminton, track and field, and soccer. In football, Nick was an integral part of the city champion Colts as a fullback and was voted a league all-star. As a member of the hockey team, he was a force at both ends of the rink and was known around the league, providing the Colts with grit and a strong work ethic. In badminton, as a doubles player, Nick, along with his partner, finished second in the city championships. In track and field, Nick finished second in the 100 meters, second in discus, and was a member of the city champion 4x100 meter and 4x400 relay teams. Nick was a great addition to the core athletic program and will now turn his attention to pursuing a career as a paramedic. Nick Gervaisi from Cora Collegiate. Notre Dame de Sioux is proud to present Jonathan Barret as this year's Walter Lowe nominee. Jonathan is the perfect example of a well-rounded athlete as he participates in multiple sports such as badminton, track and field, and curling, while keeping a grade point average of 96%. Jonathan was our Badminton Rotary nominee last year and has competed well in the sports during his high school tenure. His most notable result is the city championship he won while playing skip on our high school curling team this year and being our curling Rotary nominee for the last 2 years. Jonathan will continue his education next year in Ottawa, where he will be taking the civil engineering program. Congratulations to Notre Dame's Walter Lowe nominee, Jonathan Barret. Thanks, Mike. We need to get Don Harvey up here to hand out the medallions for the Benet Barret Award, annually awarded to the graduating secondary school student who best combines athletic ability with academic achievement. This award is accompanied by a check to be used for assistance with tuition or books, and we thank the Beth Jacob Synagogue for their financial support. If there's any past winners of this award, please identify yourself. It's a very prestigious one, I know that, and there's been a lot of great winners and very notable ones at that. This year's winner was selected by a committee consisting of Lucia Reese, Director of Education for the Algoma District School Board, Rose Burton Spawn, Director of Education for the Huron-Superior Catholic District School Board, and Joe Maurice, Superintendent of Education for the Algoma District School Board. Their decision is based on an interview of the candidates and on the information provided by the secondary school principals and athletic heads. Now I call upon John Bruno, Superintendent of Education for the Huron-Superior Catholic District School Board, to introduce each nominee.
Good evening, everyone. Our first nominee for the Benet Barret Award is Gavin Veenstra. Gavin is a Benet Barret Scholarship nominee from the White Pines Collegiate. Gavin is a multi-sport athlete representing White Pines in wrestling, football, track and field, and has represented White Pines in NASA and OFSA competition. Academically, Gavin has maintained an average of 87.5% in his top 6 grade 12 university-bound courses. Next year, Gavin will be enrolled in the engineering program at Guelph University with interest in either mechanical or system and computer engineering. Our second nominee is Jacob Belsprey, is the Benet Barret Scholarship nominee from Superior Heights Collegiate. Jacob is a talented multi-sport athlete representing Superior Heights in track and field, soccer, hockey, and cross country, and has participated in NASA and OFSA competition. Academically, Jacob is maintaining a 99% average in his grade 12 courses. Next year, Jacob will be enrolled in Mathematics Cooperative Education program at the University of Waterloo with the long-term goal of a career in cryptography, actuary, or software engineering. You can see the 99% in this. Our next nominee is Tyler Barban, who has also been Benet Barret Scholarship nominee from St. Mary's College. Tyler is a multi-year athlete participating in badminton and soccer. In addition, he has represented his school in NASA and OFSA level competition. Academically, Tyler has maintained an average of 93% in his grade 12 courses. Next year, Tyler will be enrolled in the nursing program at the University of Western Ontario. And our last but not least nominee is Andrew Budeau, is a Benet Barret Scholarship nominee from Cora Collegiate. Andrew is a multi-year sport athlete representing Cora in track and field, soccer, cross-country, and has participated in NOSA and OFSA competition. Academically, Andrew has maintained an average of 86% in his grade 12 courses and has maintained honors standing throughout his high school career. Next year, Andrew will be enrolled in the aviation program at Sault College. Congratulations.
And those are your nominees for the B'nai B'rith Award. So now we will move on to the awards for the award winners, pardon me. And if we can get Melinda Mills, Rotary past president, to come up to present the winners with their honors. And once again, we'll start this alphabetically in sports. So the winner for the Rotary Award for 2018 for badminton is Nate Medallia from St. Mary's College. And Nate, stay up here with the rest of our winners, please. Thanks. From basketball, the winner, actually there is a sharing of the basketball award for this year from St. Mary's College, Cole Evans, and from Cora Collegiate, Matt Clement. Congratulations, Cole and Matt. Now the winner of the 2018 Rotary Cross Country Running Award, Andrew Budeau from Cora Collegiate. And the 2018 winner for the Rotary Curling Award, Jonathan Barret from Notre Dame de Sault. The 2018 Rotary Football Award winner, Darian Belkowski from Cora Collegiate. The 2018 Hockey Rotary winner, Josh Mannarino from St. Mary's College. '18 winner for soccer, Ron Zappacosta from St. Mary's College. The 2018 winner for track and field, Andrew Budeau from Cora Collegiate. And the 2018 Rotary Wrestling Award winner, Gavin Veenstra from White Pines Collegiate. Thank you, gentlemen. Or sorry, we can stay up here. We're doing the Walter Low as well. Going to keep going. We'll do the Walter Low winner for the Athlete of the Year. And the Walter Low Memorial Award for the top high school athlete of 2017-18 is Nick Keenan from Superior Heights. And Nick's brother Mark is going to come up to accept the award. Nick isn't here tonight, but I do have a letter that he asked to be read on his behalf. So this is from Nick Keenan, the award winner. I would first off like to thank the Rotary Club for putting tonight together, and of course the Marconi Club for another great meal. Although we all play sports for our own reasons, it is certainly nice to be recognized for our hard work and effort. Tonight would not be possible if it was not for the tireless hours our coaches, administrators, officials, conveners, athletic directors, media representatives, parents, nonos and nanas have put in, and for this we all say thank you. I certainly wish I could have been here tonight to be recognized with my fellow athletes, but my girlfriend and an overseas wedding got in the way. Not mine, a family member of my girlfriend. I would like to start by saying thank you to my parents, Tom and Susan, for their countless hours and countless dollars they put into my sporting life. From a young age, they encouraged my brother and myself to participate in a variety of sports, and we have. Too many times, students tend to specialize in one sport and miss out on what high school athletics is all about. There is something special about representing your school, whether it is at the provincial, regional, or local level. High school has allowed me the opportunity to participate in cross-country, hockey, badminton, soccer, and track, and I would not change these experiences for anything. To my coaches over the years, and there are too many to name, but some had a real impact on me, not only as an athlete, but as a person as well. Mr. Russian, Mr. Rutland, Mr. Manu, Ms. Chirello, Mr. Johnson, Mr. Simard, and Mr. Haino. My athletic directors, Mr. Klooster, Mr. Cond, and Ms. Delapenta, and the administration at Superior Heights, Mrs. Morelli, Mr. Caruso, and Mr. Giovanatti, thank you for your 5 incredible years. I hear they say university is the best years of your life. Well, these last 5 years will be hard to beat. Whether you were a Colt, Husky, Knight, Wolverine, Voyageur, or Steelhawk, I'm sure we all agree it would not be possible without everyone playing a special part. My parents also told me that if you hang out with good people, good things will happen, and tonight is certainly a great example of that. Thank you again for this honor, Nick Keenan. And now for the winner of the B'nai B'rith Award, Jacob Verslip from Superior Heights. And Jacob, you can have some words if you have some.
I would first like to thank the Rotary Club for putting on such a great event and the Marconi Club for hosting. Congratulations to all the other nominees on your achievements. I am greatly honored to be the recipient of the B'nai B'rith Award. I want to thank the selection committee for dedicating their time. Thank you to all my coaches and teachers who have helped me along the way, especially Lori Pernis, Paul Simard, and Drew Johnson, as well as administration for making everything run so smoothly. I especially would like to thank my parents. My dad got me into sports at a young age and took me to all my games and practices over the years, and I can always depend on my mom for anything. They provided me the opportunity to have success in school and made sure it was a priority. Thank you to my teammates for making my years at Superior Heights so great. High school sports not only helped me develop as an athlete, but also as a person. I will always remember my time as a Steelhawk. Thank you.
Congratulations, Jacob. The next award is the Ross Winslade Award, and if we can get Rotary Club past President Brent Lewis to come up here to present this award. It's awarded annually to the secondary school accumulating the most points within the city for all boys and girls sports sanctioned by the local athletic association. The Winslade Award was established by the public secondary school principals and vice principals in memory of the late Mr. Ross Winslade a former principal and an avid supporter of high school athletics in the Sioux. The winning secondary school has had a banner year in achievements once again. And this year's award goes to Cora Collegiate. If Kim Policiccio, Greg Arbor, the female and male athletic directors, can come up, as well as Hannah Jaudoin from the girls athletic program and Andrew Budeau from the boys athletic program to accept this award. Congratulations to Cora Collegiate. The next award to be handed out is the Russ Ramsay High School Sports Hall of Fame Awards. And before we introduce this year's inductees, we'd like to take a moment to acknowledge those members of the Hall of Fame that have recently passed. Larry Bobby, inducted in 1990, passed away in January of 2018. Peter Horsford, inducted in 1998, passed away in September of 2017. And also recently passed, Mary Belfort, inducted in 1991. She passed in February of 2017. Sault Ste. Marie High School Sports continues to benefit from the countless hours that these individuals dedicate to high school programs, and their memory will live forever in the Hall of Fame. And now I'll ask Dave Zagordo from St. Mary's College to introduce our first inductee to the Russ Ramsay High School Sports Hall of Fame for 2018.
Thanks, Jim. Good evening. It's an honor and a privilege to introduce to you a young man. That's not funny, Coach. Who has dedicated and committed his time in the sports of badminton and volleyball for over 25 years. Tony D'Agostino, or Coach D, or Dags, was an integral part of St. Mary's College since 1995. Since that time, he has not only made our athletes perform and excel to their fullest, but he has made, more importantly, he's made them a better person. And that's what's so special about Coach D. Without further ado, a man who has more SMC polo shirts than I do, Mr. Tony D'Agostino.
I was actually stunned when I got the letter. I wasn't quite sure what it was all about, and then I got halfway through it before I realized what this was. I'm actually immensely honored, especially when I get to see the names of the people that were before me. There were amazing coaches and mentors ahead. I'm just honored to have my name attached to that list of people. That's the first thing. I think the thing I would really like to say most, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have had the coaching career that I had if it hadn't have been for the teachers, coaches that I had all the way through my school years. I had immensely excellent coaches in elementary school, high school, and university. And they were a big part of who I became as an athlete, as I became as an individual. And I would never have done what I'm doing today if it hadn't have been for them. I want to really take a moment to give a special recognition to one coach of mine. He was not only my coach, he was my mentor. Larry Bobby was my badminton coach in high school. Larry Bobby was also my mentor. He was my guidance counselor. He was the one that convinced me that I was actually smart enough to go to university. If I hadn't have done that, I'm probably not sure what I would be doing today. But the thing that I look back on most with the experience I had with this coach was his example was something I had to do afterwards. I couldn't take what he had given me as an athlete and not give it back when it was my turn. He taught me, he was the first person to teach me to pay it forward. So I couldn't not coach when it was my turn to do so. I've had an amazing time coaching. The athletes that I've had have all been amazing young people, and they've taught me as much as I've taught them. In fact, in an awful lot of ways, they've made me a better person. So thank you so much for the acknowledgement. Thank you.
Congratulations, Tony. And if we could have Cynthia Sutton please come up to introduce our next inductee to the Russ Ramsay High School Sports Hall of Fame.
It's an honor for me to introduce Rhonda Coulter as one of this year's inductees into the Russ Ramsay High School Hall of Fame. Linda Vitry, who unfortunately could not make it tonight, and I had the pleasure of working alongside Rhonda for over 15 years at the Dun. Not to worry, Rhonda, some of those stories I could tell will stay in school. I first met Rhonda in her high school as her high school volleyball coach in her final year of high school. She went on to play volleyball at the University of Laurentian University before starting her teaching and coaching career at White Pines. Rhonda volunteered to coach or was an assistant coach in almost every year of her teaching career. She coached volleyball at White Pines, Cora, and the Dun. She coached track and field at White Pines, Cora, and the Dun for a total of 24 years. As a jumping coach and later as the head coach of the Sir James Dunn track team, she was a valuable member of the historic team that won many city and NASA champions. Her cross-country coaching started at the Dun in 1995, helping Alice Arneson. Then as a head coach in 1998, and she continued to do that for another 9 years. Badminton and basketball at Superior Heights rounded out her coaching career. Not only coaching, but Rhonda convened city and NASA championships in track and field, cross-country, badminton, and volleyball. Rhonda loved working with the students and the student athletes. She was dedicated in teaching skills as well as having each athlete enjoy the team experience. A true mentor to her students and her athletes. I have a message from Frank Donnelly, who hired Rhonda for her first teaching job in the Sioux. Frank says, I appreciate the opportunity to publicly note that Rhonda was a great addition to Sir James Dunn, an outstanding teacher, coach, and staff member, a most worthy addition to the Russ Ramsay Sports Hall of Fame, and I concur.
Take a deep breath. Hi, it is so nice to be here. I've always loved coming to the Rotary Sports Awards and the ACT Female Athletic Awards. It has been a while, and yet it seems like yesterday. I always thought that being a part of the high school sporting circle was pretty cool. I've greatly admired my friends and co-coaches, Linda Vitry, Cynthia Sutton, and Joanne Perry's here, and my young partner, Terry Lynn Della Penta. I would like to congratulate all of the student athletes here tonight. I hope you enjoy your moment. Like I said, it is nice to be here and to be recognized for the Russ Ramsay High School Hall of Fame. But the funny thing is, as a physical education teacher and a science teacher, I just thought that being a phys ed teacher meant that I had to coach. That it was just expected of us. I'm sure that when I was first hired by Frank Donnelly, one of his first questions was, White Pines needs a senior girls basketball coach and a junior girls basketball coach. Can you do it? Thank goodness, I just thought that teaching and coaching went together because it sure made a very fulfilling career and lifestyle. We all have something in common here, the love of sport. Man, doesn't it give you a great feeling? It gives you that high, that sense of belonging, and it gives you a lot of team sportswear. I loved wearing my first colors, green and white, then brown and gold, only for a year, but a fun year. I spent the longest time in green and gold. Those colors probably looked the best on me. Then I finished up in blue and silver. I have fond memories of the overnight traveling with kids on the bus, mostly to NASA championships in Sudbury and North Bay, over and over and over again, and a few to OFSA in Southern Ontario. I guess that just means that our Sioux kids are pretty talented. So many highs, so many learning experiences, some tears, injuries, so many rules, and so many changes in rules. And Mr. Donnelly's voice over the PA at the track meets. I would like to thank all of the many kids who participate in high school sports and all of the coaches. Our own two boys had a wonderful high school sporting career because of the program supported by the Women and Men's Athletic Associations. Both have continued to have the love of sport, and they've been coaching in our high schools lately. After tonight, I will spend time with my teaching, coaching friends who I've mentioned to you, and some days gone by, student athletes, and that's the cool sporting circle that I love to belong to. And we'll talk about a game or a race or a practice or a competition over a beer. Thank goodness some things never change. Thank you so much for this recognition. It is nice to be sharing this moment with you, Tony. I am sincerely honored. Thank you.
Congratulations, Randa. And now we come to the presentation of the H.P. Broughton Memorial Trophy. And Dan Sharp is going to come up to hand this award out. It was donated by A.Y. Broughton, as you heard earlier. He was a past district governor in honor of his father. He was also a Rotarian, H.P. Broughton. The award is it's awarded to the Sault Ste. Marie Sportsperson of the Year and selected by the Sault Ste. Marie Sports Writers and Broadcasters. Some past winners, well, obviously there's lots of great names in there in terms of the Espositos and Nolans, and Mr. Hertzberg was here tonight and was a past winner, the Jacobs Curling Rink, and you can go back years and see so many names that are synonymous with sport in Sault Ste. Marie, and they've all really done the city proud. So the nominees this year, in alphabetical order, first nominee is Sara Hammond. Come on up, Sara. Sara has spent 4 years at the University of Guelph, and prior to going there, she was a star in track and field here in Sault Ste. Marie in secondary school. And I remember Sara getting numerous awards at the ACT banquet over numerous years, if I recall correctly. But at the University of Guelph, she continued being a student athlete. In 2015, she was the U Sports silver medalist. In 2016, she was the OUA silver medalist. And this year, she put in something that is almost unbelievable, the performance that she put on the map. You can, as usual, watch it on the internet. Really easy. Go to the University of Guelph website. She was named the Athlete of the Week in February after running an 8.22 second 60-meter hurdles at the York Open. Now, that's pretty fast. Fast enough that it beat the Canadian, she beat the Canadian and current Olympic Canadian 100-meter hurdles champion, Angela White, in that race. It was the fastest by any U Sports, NCAA, or professional post-secondary athlete this year in a 60-meter hurdles. Not only that, it's the second fastest 60-meter hurdles in Canadian history, just 0.08 seconds off the World Indoor Championship record. That's fast. I heard today that Sara is kind of contemplating what to do beyond her university career. She may continue in university to become a doctor, or she may decide to try her hand at the Olympic Games. And what a great decision to have to go through. One thing we know, if she's a doctor, you're going to get treated real quick. There's our nominee, Sara Hammond. Our second nominee is a 20-year-old Mack Marku. Mack is about twice as young as I am, maybe 3 times. Anyway, he's done a lot more in skiing than I did as I plied the hills out at Searchmont. Watched Mack growing up as he was doing the the twin blades down the hill. Mack was usually just blowing right by me, as one would expect. But Mack already has picked up 5 Paralympic medals. This year, he won gold in the downhill at the Pyeongchang Games and bronze in the giant slalom. It was his 4th and 5th medals in the Paralympics. He picked up 3 at the Sochi Games. Mack is a proud resident of Haviland Bay, Ontario, Canada. He turned pro racing in just 2013, and he has been diagnosed with Stargardt disease. Is that correct? Yeah. In 2006, when he started to lose his eyesight. And I was just recently at St. Paul School. Mack used to go to St. Paul, and he was speaking to the kids there. And he had a good example of what it's like, what Mack is facing when he's skiing upwards of 100 kilometers an hour down a hill with somebody in front of him on a radio telling him where the next gate is to turn. So you can just imagine, it's hard enough to ski. Come and watch me, you'll see. But for Mack to do what he's doing is phenomenal. But Mack told the students here's an example of what he sees. He said, put your fists together, put your 2 thumbs up right over your nose, and that's basically what he sees. So you can try that and see what he's seeing. Skiing at 120 kilometers an hour down a hill. And that's what Mack is seeing based on the loss of his eyesight. Mack went to St. Mary's College. I'm sure he's continuing his studies, but he's also obviously concentrating on his professional career and an Olympic career. And congratulations to Mack Marku, our nominee this year, with double medals at the Paralympic Games in Pyeongchang. And the third nominee is the Sioux Greyhounds 2017-2018 edition. And I'll go through a couple of the numbers of what occurred this season, but I'm sure most of the people in Sault Ste. Marie know exactly what happened. The team accomplished many great things, picked up 55 wins, which is a team record, 116 points accumulated, lost only 7 games in regulation, 3 in overtime and 3 in shootouts all season long. One of the best seasons in Ontario Hockey League history, by the way, the second best season in Ontario Hockey League history. They had a 23-game winning streak from October 28th to December 30th, 29 consecutive undefeated games in regulation time, and a 27-game home ice win streak. The only one that's ever beaten that is probably the unbeatable 33-0 season way back in 84-85 for the Sioux Greyhounds. They reached the Ontario Hockey League final for the first time in 25 years. Drew Bannister was named Coach of the Year over the entire Canadian Hockey League for guiding the team to the finish, first overall in the OHL. And, they didn't wind up succeeding for their goal of winning a Memorial Cup, but they got to within 2 games of that. Obviously, a disappointment for the team. And here is maybe the next coach of the Sioux Greyhounds. Former Sioux Greyhounds coach Craig Hertzberg representing the organization tonight as the third nominee for the H.P. Broughton Award. So when all is said and done, when we're voting for this, I'm one of the people who vote for the H.P. Broughton. It's really tough to vote for the award on some occasions because sometimes there's tremendous accomplishments. Some of the criteria tries to keep us from perhaps naming multiple winners over and over again because we hope they win maybe a few years later rather than year after year after year. There have hardly been any winners that have come in consecutive years. So we try to spread the wealth around per se, but if there's somebody worthy of winning it 2 years in a row, then they will win it 2 years in a row. This year it was tough when you get a team that has done well and you get individual athletes that do well. As voters, you kind of weigh what this is all about, what stage it's on, and it can be very tough in trying to pick a winner, like in anything, when you're being objective, it's not ironclad in terms of who has won and who has not won in that regard, or how many points they get, or whatever the statistics are. But this year's winner was the Sioux Greyhounds, just on the fact of their capturing the city and what they've done to boost the city's morale and stage on the national scene. So the HB Broughton winner are the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds for 2019.
I will not be coaching next year. So, I'll keep this short because really I had nothing to do with the season the Greyhounds had. But first of all, I really would like to congratulate all the athletes here today. Tremendous honors for all of you. And obviously you have a lot of talent, but probably more importantly, you have character. And you can take talent and you take speed and all this, but you can never win without character. And obviously you people have it. So congratulations. To Mack and Sara, you guys certainly are deserving to be up here. Tremendous athletes, but again, sitting with you guys for the last hour or so, tremendous people. And both your parents, sets of parents, should be very proud of not just you as an athlete, but you as a person. So congratulations. On behalf of the Sioux Greyhound owners, Kyle Raftis, Drew Bannister, and the players, I would like to thank the Rotary Club for this great honor. Obviously, they had a great season, and lots of people will say, well, they came up short at the end, but as a Greyhound alumni, watching, I was so proud of what they accomplished. There's been a lot of us that have tried to reach the level that they reached this year, and we couldn't. So I was very envious and proud as a Greyhound alumni. Our players, our young guys, will learn a lot of great life lessons through that ride through the playoffs and obviously the regular season. They'll look back, it may not be right now, but it will be years down the road. They'll look back and they will have learned some great lessons, as you guys here as athletes will as well. Sports is a great way to learn about life, the adversities, the success, how you prepare, how you deal with all those things. You learn those in a fun way in sports, but you'll take those lessons with you the rest of your lives and hopefully be successful wherever you end up. So congratulations again, and thank you very much from the Sioux Greyhounds.
And now Dan Sharp will come up to do his closing remarks for tonight's banquet.
Well, thank you to all the participants and the athletes. I have a few thank yous to make. First to the Beth Jacobs Synagogue for their financial contributions to the B'nai B'rith Award, to Carrie Hamilton, the Algoma District School Board, for her work in printing and putting together the program and certificates that we give out tonight, to Paul and Derek Walls, who have been taking the photographs of all the presentations. For the parents that are here and the coaches, you could possibly pass it on to families. The pictures are available through Steve Caruso at Superior Heights. I'd like to thank Jim Fitzpatrick for his excellent work as MC tonight and for going solo. We usually are able to split the position. It's a lot of work to do in one evening. Also to the committee that helps me put this together, Derek Walls, Mike Stone, Archie Laidlaw, Rod Stone, Murdoch Carter, Melinda Mills, Steve Caruso, Don Harvey, and Conrad Marasco. And to the members of the Russ Ramsay Hall of Fame Selection Committee, Barry Russian, Remy Gentes, Wendy Basawa, Linda Vitri, Steve Caruso, Michael Cowan, and Janice Hogan. Our appreciation for your work every year in reviewing candidates and presenting them. to the media, the Sioux Star who covers the event, and to Shaw Cable. I'd like to remind everyone that Shaw Cable will be broadcasting, I did write it down, it'll be the next Tuesdays and Saturdays, starting next Tuesday at 6 p.m. on Shaw Cable. So for the next 2 weeks, starting next Tuesday, you could review the event if you wish. Thank you also to all the coaches and athletic directors who put a lot of work into nominating athletes, for writing about their contributions and for voting on the winners, and really for helping us put this whole program together. That concludes our awards banquet for tonight. Thank you all for attending.